Hello, new video. Today we're going to take a look at a new Pokemon that got released, which is Kartana. This Pokemon now is available for the Great League, but it's a little bit tricky to get this Pokemon. You have to trade with someone else. You have, like, if you have basically the lowest friendship level, I think around like a 2/3 percentage, like 66% rate of getting one for Great League. So it's not very difficult to get, but it's a little bit tricky to get, especially if you only really have one trade to go for, because it's like the only way to get this, you need to have it from the research which was available today, and you have to basically trade them with someone else. Even if you are best friends with someone, it's still very likely for it to turn Great League level, which is nice. Mine turned directly to 1493 CP. Then had to power up once, even like it was just perfect IVs, like not perfect IVs, but perfect CP at least. So I was pretty lucky. First trade worked out well for me already, and we can take a look at this Pokemon. I started like with no expectations, to be fair. I thought like, okay, it's going to be taking a while until I get a win with this team, and I went immediately basically 3-0 with this team, which was nice. So it didn't take that long to get a win, I guess. And in general, this Pokemon itself actually works out way better in the Great League compared to the Ultra League. The Ultra League is just a little bit too bulky for something like the something like this Kartana here. The thing is, you have of course a fast move heavy Pokemon here, so you want to kind of farm down the opponents, and it's a little bit tricky on Ultra League where I already showcased it, or also in Master League also going to be way more tricky. But in the Great League, you have way more potential to just flip matchups, farm something down. Here I went into the wrong Pokemon. I sure went into my Kartana as well here, but I was just starting playing this team, so I wasn't completely sure in what to swap into when. But we will be able to still go for some seed bombs here, so it's still a good matchup for me, of course. Like, it wasn't a bad swap, but it would have been cooler, of course, to see how much Razor Leaf would do against the Lantern. Like this, we will be able to get rid of the Lantern, which is nice. And let's see what they're going to go into now. They're going to go back into the Golbat, of course. We will be able to take this move and just soak some energy from them. Go for my Brian. That should knock them out. Hopefully, they're going to let this move go through, and they're going to shield this move here, which now tells me I'm going to let this move go through here. Going to be a Poison Fang most likely, and I should be able to go into my Kartana now, and I will be able to go into my Kartana here, and we will be able to go up against this Kaiwei. And this Pokemon will not get to 2 charge moves. I will just be able to farm them all the way down. Kaiwei is one of the bulkiest Pokemon. Doesn't matter for Kartana. We will be able to now go ahead and farm them all the way down with the against the Golbat as well, and we win this 1 HP in a dream, which is amazing. But I feel like sometimes this Pokemon might be even better than something like Shadow Victory Bell. Like, this has actually potential. Like, I kid you not, I would actually recommend you to get one. It's not something that you would use in every team. It's not something crucial that you will miss if you don't have one. But it's good, like, it's not bad. Like, especially in some special cups where maybe steel types are allowed or whatever, it might have more potential than some other Pokemon. Like, it's very unique in that kind of regard, and you have very good charge moves like together with the Razor Leaf fast move there. So I would actually recommend you to get one, at least like try to trade for one, because it's just a funny Pokemon that actually has potential for the Great League. I think it's actually better than the Celesteela for the Great League, not gonna lie. Even though Celesteela would completely destroy the Flying Cup if this ever comes back, which I hope not, but this here has actually a lot of potential. We see a Stunfisk here against us. We can go into the Kartana, or we go into the Toxapex first, so we can go for the Brian, but they're actually gonna catch it on the Trevenant. Very good catch there by the opponent. They still can go for a move here, but we see a Quagsire coming in, and that thing just gets destroyed. Like, goodbye Quagsire. We can shield up one move, and we will be able to win this game pretty easily here. Good game to my opponent here, as we will be able to farm them all the way down. Next opponent coming in, Toxapex against Jellicent. I want to swap out immediately, of course, into my Trevenant, which didn't work out immediately because I was, I don't know, a little bit late there. We will be able to go for one Seed Bomb here as we face the hardest wall again. Like, I cannot do anything in the lead scenario there, as they have Shadow Ball and I only have resisted moves. Here I have neutral moves, at least with the Seed Bomb, but they have super effective moves, and there's no way for me flipping this matchup against Umbreon, so I can just let this move go through. I can go ahead and go back into my Toxapex, and at this point of time, basically the only thing that can really happen here is a sweep of my, of my Kartana there in the back, but I don't know if the paper thin defense here will be enough to do anything, but we will be able to go for one more fast charge move here. This will get them very low enough that I can farm them down. I should be able to swap out immediately. And I make a mistake here. This was clearly just a bubble beam. It was clearly a bubble beam and I still shielded for whatever reason. And this is going to hurt me now, because I now need the shields against the crunch of the Greedent, and the Greedent's crunch going to crunch me down here. We will be able to go for one charge move here, we will get the shield from the opponent, but if I didn't shield the bubble beam, I would have been able to shield this move now, and I would have been able to get them very, very low with that, and I would have been able to most likely farm them down in time, or like get to the move in time here. I would have had a way better chance of winning this game still, but because I shielded the wrong move there, we are kinda in a tough matchup right now. We can still go for one Sludge Wave here. This we're gonna get shielded as well, which is not ideal, and we see here that the next move coming in going to be the Shadow Ball, which will nearly knock us out. We can still go at least for one Brine. To a Sludge Wave we wouldn't have got there, but we will be able to go for the Brine. We'll get them pretty low, and we can still get one Razor Leaf off, but not enough. Again, if I didn't shield the Bubble Beam there, I was pretty sure it was a Bubble Beam, but I wasn't too sure. Like, I wasn't like 100% sure, so I shielded us. Was not the idea there. But we will see here a very good lead from me, and we will see a Stun Fetch against us. So it's something that I don't really see too often, but the lead doesn't matter where we align it now, because we have, of course, our Kartana on the back. We're going to also have resistance there, even though it will not really look like the charm will be resisted, because we are a super crazy glass cannon here. We will be able to go for one Shadow Ball at least, and we can go for another move here, and usually they will shield this move up because they win this, I think, but no, they just didn't want to shield for whatever reason, which is fine for me. They're gonna go ahead and go into a Ferrothorn, and this is scary. A Ferrothorn resists all moves other than Night Slash, which I don't get to very fast. Like, again, for my Pokemon here, but also for my Toxapex. And they also usually run Thunder, which is not way better either. Here they baited me. Here I'm going to let this move go through. It's going to be the Thunder. We're still going to be able to survive it, but they're going to get us very low there with the Kartana. We will have to farm down this Granbull all the way, which we can do, which is amazing. And we will be able to go for one Sludge Wave here against the opponent's Steel type, which is funny, but it still does more damage than Brine, because Brine is also resisted. Both are single resisted, because at least the Sludge Wave is effective against the grass typing, but double not super effective, like double resisted against the steel typing. So we are doing the same amount of, I mean, it's the same resistance basically for both moves, but Sludge Wave is just better. Here we're still going to get to the Brine in time, and we would have also won if we wouldn't have got to the Brine in time, but yeah, we will see the next opponent, Venusaur in the lead. Not ideal, they swap out immediately into a Celesteela. I have nothing against this. We saw it already earlier today. If you didn't see the video, check it out on my channel. Already live today, a video about Celesteela in Great League. Very cool Pokemon there. Also, leave a like on the video if you haven't done this yet. I usually don't really ask about this, but helps out the channel a ton, so would be very, very nice. So we see here the Body Slam coming through. At least they are running the Boulders here, which is nice, so they are only doing damage with their fast move against me here, which I can basically swap, get like the switch advantage here again. We will also be able to go for another charge move here, which they think it's a Shadow Ball, but I only got to the Seed Bomb, so very good for me. And we see a Steelix coming in. I will go for one charge move here against the Steelix, which will get them like around half health, not even. And I have to let this move go through. It's not going to hurt too much, even though it's super effective in a Shadow Pokemon. But I can go ahead and go into my Kartana, and my opponent decides to now just forfeit because they were too low, I guess. I think they still had a chance though. I think that it wasn't over yet. What is over is like the Fire type against me here, but there's still the issue that I have for like every team I have to play in the Catch Cup. We have a Milting against us here, which is kind of hardwall for both of my Pokemon that I have in the back. So I can go for one Sludge Wave here. They're going to shield this move up. I'm going to try to catch a Body Slam on my Kartana, because at least we are Steel type. It works out pretty well. We're still going to do more damage with my fast move. I'm going to shield it. Could be an Ice Beam. It will just be a Body Slam. I think they're single moved. I'm pretty sure they're single moved at this point of time, so I'm going to let this move go through here. Going to be a Body Slam. I should be able to farm down, but they're going to go back into their Ninetales, which allows me to go back into my Toxapex here, which now is aligned against it, and they are stuck in this matchup, which is amazing, as I can go for Brine. I can farm them all the way down now, as I'm going to shield up this move. They could have Psyshock, they could have the Overheat. They have the Overheat here. They could have also had the Solar Beam, so I just went for the safe route and farmed shield this move up, which allows them still to get to another Overheat, which would have definitely done enough damage than if they hit the first one there. So I will be able to go for some moves here, but sadly what we see in the back here going to be something that I don't want to face. The opponent had a triple hard counter team for Trevenant, so there's nothing I can really do here. I actually should have went for the Brian there, to be fair. I think I had a chance if I went for the Brian in time, but I didn't think that they would outspeed me or even throw against me, so I was a little bit surprised about this. So it was kind of my fault as well. I think I still had some chance at least if I went for the Brian, but it's fine. We will see the opponent here with the Toxic Rogue. Toxic Rogue seems to be a little bit scared about my Toxapex here, as they're going to shield up my Brian, which is fine for me, very good for me actually. I will be able to take 2 moves from them, and they're going to swap out now after this one, I think, into their own Toxapex, which allows me to farm up to a Sludge Wave, Sludge Wave, and I will be able to shield up 1 move here with my Kartana. We can shield up the Brian, and I can now go ahead and perfectly CMP tie on them, as we're always going to win this. Go for the Night Slash here, that should knock them out anyway. They're going to shield up, which is fine. I get the boost here, which I will not use here. I will just let this go through because I know that they have a fighter in the back, and I can farm them all the way down with my Trevenant. So far, so good. Let's see what's coming in. It's coming in the normal type, a Linoon this time around though. Linoon is a little bit different here, of course, as Linoon is doing super effective damage against me, but I can snipe them with my Toxapex, going for 1 Sludge Wave here, getting them very low, but not low enough. I have to go for 1 Shadow Ball here. I will get the Shadow Ball in time before they get to their charge move, which allows me to knock them out, and I should be able to outspeed them now for 1 Seed Bomb, which I will be able to, and this is going to be a good game. Linoon only really has Grass Knot. I think Thunder usually is like the moveset Grass Knot Thunder, which is pretty cool actually, but Linoon doesn't really have the bulk anymore in nowadays PvP, where like everything is way too bulky. So it's not really used that often. We see another Trevenant against us here. We can take the Shadow Ball, we can try to get the shield advantage. Of course, for the Kartana in the back, you want to keep your shields alive. If you don't have shields with Kartana, it's basically useless, but that's basically the case for every Razor Leafer or Charm user or whatever that is not really bulky. So we will be able to go ahead and go for a Shadow Ball, get the shield. We're going to give them 1 shield as well here, because otherwise I have no real way to hit a Skarmory with this team. Of course, I would most likely build a different team if I had all Pokemon available right now, but this is still fine. I will be able to farm them down with my Kartana, and we see a Ninetales coming in. Ninetales would be a cool matchup, of course, for my Toxapex. Sadly, I'm locked in here. I will be able to shield up the Weather Ball coming in, and I will be able to go for 1 what's called Leaf Blade here to knock them all the way out. Going to destroy the Ninetales, and we see the Trevenant coming back in here, as they are sadly gonna still get to a move, which is going to be the Seed Bomb. I had to try to catch it because now I will not be able to get to the next move in time. I definitely should have swapped out, but I didn't keep track of the Trevenant there. If I waited out longer as well against when I swapped into my Kartana for the first time, I would have been fine as well, but I just misplayed this, to be fair. Like, this was all on me. Could have definitely won this if I played it better, but I didn't play it better. And my opponent played it very, very well, to be fair. We see a Guzzlord against us. Guzzlord is something that I don't like to see too much, but we can go for 1 bait here with my Brian. Brian can come through, gonna get the shield, and I will be able to now still reach 1 Sludge Wave afterwards, which is the cool thing about this matchup here. You're still gonna just barely get there with 1 HP to the Sludge Wave. This Sludge Wave will nearly knock them out, or 1 more Poison Jab will knock them out, and I got the switch advantage and the shield advantage, which is amazing because I need to have the Driftball lined against my Trevenant here, otherwise I'm screwed, and I also need an extra shield because I have extra energy. So I will be able to go for 1 Shadow Ball now. This Shadow Ball should be able to knock out the opponent if they don't shield, but they do shield. Also, very cool shiny here from the Halloween event. I guess they got the shiny boy with the hat, as they just go straight for some Icy Wednesday. I will be able to go into my Kartana now against them. I have my Kartana here now going for some Leaf Blades. I think I should be able to knock them out here, right? Let's see. It's going to be the last battle as well. We will be able to actually knock out the Toxapex with my Kartana and the Zero Shields, which is amazing. And we hit the final Shadow Ball to win this game. So, Kartana is a fun Pokemon. I would recommend you to try to trade for it. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and I hope I see you in the next one. Bye!